Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a story where personal secrets just explode right into one of history's absolute darkest moments. We're talking about a man named Albert Freyberg, someone who thinks he has it all, but his entire world is about to come crashing down, thanks to his own past and, of course, the terrifying rise of the Nazi Party.
So let's just drop ourselves right into the scene with this quote. Now, this isn't even said to our main character. No, this is directed at his old war buddy, Helmut Schorner, a farmer who's been completely broken by the Depression. And that one look, man, it tells you everything you need to know about the time. It's a world of rigid class divides, total desperation, a place where just walking into the wrong room could get you branded as an enemy.
So, picture this. We're in Bremen, Germany. The city is just completely choked by economic depression and political extremism is boiling over. And right in the middle of all this is our guy, Albert Freyberg, a successful banker who thinks, hey, my life is perfect. You know, he's got the respected bank, the family, the fancy house. But you can probably guess, underneath all that shiny success, the foundations are already starting to crumble.
All right, so this perfect little world Albert has built for himself, it's about to get invaded. And not by strangers, but by ghosts from his past. Each one shows up with their own baggage, their own dangers, their own demands. And believe me, these aren't just random meetings. Oh no, this is a reckoning. Okay, so two guys from the Great War just pop back into Albert's life, and they're pulling him in totally opposite directions. First, there's Helmut. This is the dude who literally saved Albert's life back in the trenches. Now he's the one who's desperate, begging for a loan that Albert knows is a really, really bad idea for the bank. And then, on the other hand, you've got his old commandant, Schuyler. This is a guy Albert remembers basically losing his mind from combat stress, and he just shows up at Albert's house party with some kind of secret, dangerous mission. Talk about a tough spot.
And this is where it gets messy, because these ghosts from the past, they don't stay in the past. They start bleeding all over Albert's present life. For instance, he gets his loyal employee, Martin Bach, to start digging into the history of a young prostitute he's trying to help. Meanwhile, his own secretary, Lucy Wagner, gets tangled up romantically with that same unstable commandant, Schuyler. And just like that, she's pulled into this crazy world of state secrets and serious danger.
And hanging over every single one of these personal dramas is the massive, dark shadow of the rising Nazi Party. This isn't some abstract threat either. It's delivered straight to Martin, right there at the bank. See, Albert's wife, Mina, is the majority owner, and even though they aren't religious, her family's Jewish heritage puts a massive target on their backs. The message is just chillingly clear. Pick the wrong side, and your old loyalties will get you killed.
And here we are, Section 2, a web of secrets. And this is really the heart of it all. This isn't just a story about politics. It's a story where every single character is hiding something huge, something devastating. And in a country where the government is actively looking for dirt on people, a private secret isn't private anymore. It's a weapon they can and will use against you.
So what's their sin? Well, the Nazis know exactly how to play this game. They put a detective on the case with one simple mission: find a sin, any sin in the Freyberg family's past that can be used to destroy them. So let's peel back the layers and look at the three shocking secrets at the core of this whole mess.
Secret number 1. That commandant, Schuyler? Yeah, he's a confessed murderer. Apparently, he just snapped during the war when he found out his wife was having an affair, and, well, he killed her. Now he's on this wild mission to expose Germany's secret plans to rearm before the Nazis can get their hands on them. And guess who he needs to help smuggle the evidence out of the country? Yep, Albert.
Secret number 2. This is the sin the Nazis were digging for. The detective unearths a cold case, the murder of Albert's first love, a French nurse named Françoise, from way back after the war. And he marches right up to Albert, lays out the evidence, and drops the bombshell. He believes Albert's own wife, Mina, was the one who killed her.
And then there's the third secret. And this one is the most personal of all. Remember that young prostitute, Greta, that Albert was trying to help? Turns out, she's his daughter. He never knew. Her mother died in a fire when she was just a little kid, and she grew up with her aunt, completely unaware of who her real father was. So now, with his entire world collapsing, Albert has to find a way to save the daughter he never even knew existed. Which brings us to Section 3, the Reich takes power. And boom, just like that, All these hidden sins, these personal tragedies, they instantly become deadly liabilities. The second the Nazis seize control, it's like Albert's personal life, his career, the entire political landscape, it all just violently collapses right on top of him. And the pressure just mounts with terrifying speed. First, Albert makes a huge mistake. He publicly calls out the Nazis at his own party. Bam! Powerful enemies made. Then, those same enemies who happen to be on his bank's board start pressuring his wife, Mina, to sell her shares and get him kicked out. And then comes the final nail in the coffin. January 30th, 1933. Hitler is named chancellor. It's over. The game is lost.
So here we are at the final stage, a desperate flight. With literally no options left, the family has to put together this incredibly high-stakes plan to escape the country, their home. There's no fighting back anymore. There's just running for their lives.
And the plan they come up with is, well, it's insane. It's practically suicidal. Step 1, they sign away everything, their bank, their home, their entire fortune to an American friend just to fund the journey. Step 2, they run to a remote farm near the Dutch border, a farm owned by Helmut Schorner, the very same friend Albert gave that risky loan to. And their getaway car? Get this. 2 rickety, rusted-out biplanes from the Great War that Helmut had kept hidden in his barn for over a decade.
But of course, it's not that simple. Even as they're trying to escape, the past just has to rear its ugly head one last time. They get cornered by a Nazi officer, a guy who used to be a pilot in Albert's old squadron. And as this officer holds their son, Willie, at gunpoint, Mina just screams out the final, most tragic secret of all. Willie isn't Albert's son. He's the Nazi son from an affair they had during the war.
And that just leaves us with this one massive question, doesn't it? When your country is gone, when your entire past can be weaponized against you, is it ever really possible to escape? Can you truly outrun who you are and what you've done? Or does the past always find a way to catch up with you?